What's going on, my crew? This is Rusty, and welcome to another episode of Rusty's Adventures. And in today's episode, I wanted to show you guys the wall. As you guys can see, this pretty good wall. I'm really actually proud of it. I think that it's turned out pretty well. Flip around to the back here, kind of take a look at the front of it. Need to eat something. I honestly don't think I'm all that happy with these little parts right here. Oh! Careful. I need to close that up. But I do like the wall as it stands right now. Pretty nice. Pretty beautiful, if you ask me. Just needs a little bit of improvement and different things here and there. I think for little parts like right here, I could put stairs in between these little nooks and crannies. And a couple different little pieces, like for instance right here. We could always fill this up like that. Give it a little bit more depth and things. But nevertheless, I kind of want to work on something a little bit different. Not that we're gonna stop working on here or anything like that. On the wall, I mean, but I just want to look at a couple different things and work on something that's slightly mindless for the next episode. But went ahead and I put some villagers finally in the middle here. As you guys can see, we can give this guy some coal, and right now get an axe out of him. Paper, and we can get projectile protection. That's a lot of emeralds, though. Leather, and we can get leather pants. Paper for punch. Does he have another one? No. Just a couple different things, very similar to the other one. I think the other one gives us a better deal. And of course another leather worker. I didn't really like find them to give them anything, but ooh, look at that. Gold for emerald. But I kind of wanted to have some people actually in the store. And I think these guys are fairly safe from attacks from a zombie. Maybe not a baby zombie. So we'd have to edit that a little bit. But yeah, they're going really great. What I want to work on the next couple episodes and things like that is, not next couple episodes, but between the next episode, because I've been able to progressively, as you guys can tell, do some things. And actually, I don't have to record much tomorrow, and I'm probably going to finish recording today. I had to stay home, been not feeling too hot. I know maybe some of you guys are saying, well, you sound just fine, Jay. Look at these. I've never seen these trees. This must be like a new thing. Oops. Because when we go into the Podzol Forest, we don't get these trees. That's nice. I like how jam-packed they are. Anyways, I want to focus on being able to build some forest out here. So I've talked about it before, where I want to add a whole different variants of trees between, well, actually just around this whole area. So that involves a lot of cutting and gathering of saplings, and I was going to go back to the base and get some saplings for the different things. But we've got birch, we've got oak, we've got dark oak over there, which I'm trying to get, and then we've got these pine trees, and I want to mix and mash them together and really get good variants of trees going all the way around here, just creating a really, really nice forest. And the other thing that we're going to need for this is we're going to need a lot of podzol and dirt, whatever they call it. It's the gravelly dirt, which I need to make. And basically what I want to do with that is I want to just give ambience. So gonna focus a little bit on a ambient looking um, ambient style build, nature style build for this forest, and specifically working on getting the, I guess, the path to the second village in between made. And basically what I want is I want that place to be in the middle of a huge forest. And what I'm going with is a, I forget what they call it, but it's a ancient forest feel from, Europe. It's not arcane. I feel like it starts with an A. But back in the day, before, industrialization, the English, I should say the United Kingdom, because I think a lot of it was, well, maybe it was English. They had so much primordial forest, primeval, basically, trees, and just these massive, awesome, really old trees. And, those don't exactly exist anymore. I'm looking for saplings. So I want normal saplings. And a lot of them. Oak saplings. Here we go. Just major primordial forest. And I think, I want to say you can find pictures of it. But one of the things, that's kind of one of the things that I want to do is just make these beautiful forests. And we would chop down some things, but then we would add trees to it. So we got pine wood here, so that means that, there we go, saplings. Nice. Where are the birch? Ah, not much birch sapling. We got some issues up there. I don't know what's going on up there, but there is a party. So yeah, this is where I'm going with it. And trying to create, actually, if you look here, without the nether, this is kind of sort of what I'm going for, is a lot of dirt underneath the trees. And I want it to be dark. I mean, we're talking some, like, as if light hasn't touched this area for a long time. So I was thinking of even doing some spider webs, and that sort of thing. So I want to get a chunk of it done before the next episode. Look at that creeper. How did he come in? Pa! Wacha! Hiya! It's a good thing I didn't go through this. That would have been nasty. Alright. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with all this. Trying to get some forest built. But it's kind of a process. It's a very big process, and it's going to take me some time. But I figure at this rate, I have at the very most a week to work on this, because of the fact that I have been really good at getting episodes out to you guys this past week. I'm going to work on thumbnails later on today. It's kind of a side project. But I'm really liking the fact that I'm pretty much just doing Ark in this. Ark has been so much fun. I can't even describe... That was a glitch. I can't even describe to you guys how I've been feeling about Ark. It just feels so much more entertaining than it did before, now that I know what sort of the end game is. I've kind of talked about this before. One of the problems I've always had with Feed the Beast has been that there's really no end game to it. And I understand this doesn't have an end game, but to us, playing this game is about building. And not only with Ark do I have like this end game feeling, but I've got this idea in my head of like thinking about all the things that I could do for after I kind of do everything, you know. And there have been people that have been building and doing things like that, and I would really love to kind of continue with that sort of thing, is just building, 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 building. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Lots of fun. Just eat a little snack and then we'll go to bed. And I think we're already a little late because the sun has gone down. And this is when people and things get scary. Alright. In the bed. Okay. So, lay down some trees out there. We need to lay down a couple more. And we're going to have to work on getting some birch. But basically what I'm going to be doing, I'm hoping to have this run in the background for a little bit to grow the trees. But the problem I'm going to have is if I run this in the background, these poor villagers are going to be in trouble. So I've got to figure out a plan of how to do this. I might have to kind of, I don't know, have it, I don't know, I'll have to work it out. But basically what I want is I want to be able to have these grow, cut them down, have them grow, cut them down, have them grow, cut them down, to the best that I can. And we're going to have quite a bit of a forest going on. And you know, I may keep some of them. I don't know. I think I'm going to pretty much cut down everything and then regrow it all. It's really about placement. I do want to keep some saplings as decoration, because if you look in a forest, there are saplings. Because they can't grow because they're trying to reach the light, and the light's being covered by the bigger trees. But I want to see if I can find some primordial forest. I hope I'm saying that right. Maybe I'm not. To kind of give me a good reference of what does that look like. Because last I knew, that stuff was cut down way back in the like industrial era of Britain, and maybe even earlier. Because a lot of the times, even back to the Roman age, the primordial forest was starting to be cut down, just because they needed wood for bridges and things like that. And you know, a lot of people think that we started being mean to nature recently, but truth is we've been mean to nature for a long time. Instead of realizing that they go through cycles. It's actually looking up, interestingly enough. Look at that, it's already growing. If you look at the age of certain trees, like up here specifically the maple tree, only lives if pollution is at the low end, about 200 years. So a couple generations. But you'd think if you were like me, you'd think that the world and the trees that are in it are really old, and how, you know, they last a long time. But the truth is, you kind of look at trees a little bit different once you start to realize trees rot, trees die, and they get old. So you can't always have, and that it does happen. Sometimes you have trees that are taken very well care of, or just have a lot of sunlight and are able to last for even longer than usual. But typically, I guess trees don't last that long. Oh, we need more bread. But yeah, we are really stuffing and packing in. And I can't wait to see what this looks like with these trees all formed up. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to finish planting all these, and I'll come back with you when they're all growed up. And we'll see you guys then. Alright, you guys, I'm back, and check it out. Not as many trees as probably could grow, but I figured I'd finish up the episode with most of them grown. And we've got more dense spots than others, but it'll work. Look at this. Wow. That's, that right there is the mod. Making this look a lot more dark because you're under the tree, but yeah. Looking good so far. I like how, basically what I want to be the main effect of this is to kind of have this beautiful forest like I was talking about. But as you're walking into this area, you kind of get this effect of having this village right in the middle of the forest. So what we're getting here, if we kind of come around all these tall grass things, is this beautiful town, and eventually this part will be cleared and just we'll go from forest into field. And the opposite effect, I want from the town for you to be able to see a huge forest. And eventually I want to make some custom trees like this and stuff like that, and add some roots and things like that into the forest. But that's about gonna do it for right now. I'm gonna cut down these trees and plant some more and do a couple of things like that to get a really nice dense forest. And then we'll have to come in with some bone meal and bone meal the stragglers, just to keep a little bit of the saplings there. We'll probably go through and add another layer of saplings in the end. But just trying to get the sapling count up would be nice. And then, of course, I got to do it around that way. Kind of get the surrounding forest. But this is kind of what I'm looking for. A nice mix of all the different types of trees. And then, of course, we want some dark oak, which will really add some depth to it. But already, as you guys can see, looking across this water, it now definitely forms the lake. But I just want to do one more thing before I go. Let's hit the shaders, kind of get an idea. Oh, goodness. That right there. Take a picture of that. That is nice. We really get that dark feel. Let's actually take a walk right through it. We get a very nice feel. And the feeling, especially with art in general, is everything. So walking through it, very dense. And in some spots we get the sky. But in other spots, just a super dense forest. And this right here, this feel is what I'm looking for. We kind of one day get a path between that and here, which isn't going to be for a long time because of the war. We'll kind of come through these trees. You see a little lake, and then it opens up to the city. Of course, eventually that'll be covered by a wall too, so. But I think that's going to do it for today's episode, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, happy mining and crafting.